us from. Thank you very much for joining us this day. Of course, it's a Wednesday, the 14th of September 2022. I hope you having yourselves a wonderful day so far. This is Financial Markets, and my name is Anthony, your host. And here on the show, we talk about saving and investment. And of course, if you're interested in any of the two or both of the two, you can always join us every Monday to Friday at exactly 10:30 to 12:30 p.m. East African Standard Time. Now, Smart 24 TV is now also on DSTV channel 372, meaning you can watch us for wherever you're watching from all over the world. And you can also catch us on GoTV channel 394. On our social media, we are on Smart 24 TV. That is our Twitter handle, where you can also give us some feedback, or if you have any concerns, any questions that you might want answered as well on the show, we'll be reaching out to you through those platforms. Also on our YouTube live stream, that is at Smart 24 TV Live. You can catch all your latest business content here in East Africa, in particular local content here in Uganda, what's happening in the business world. We will be bringing you all that and more. Now today is a wonderful day, and of course we are having wonderful people here on the show. We're going to be having Mr. Joseph Chitamirike, a very seasoned investor, a seasoned leader as well in the investment world. Mr. Joseph Chitamirike is also the Chief Executive Officer of Altex East Africa, which is a private securities exchange here in East Africa, just about 5 years old. Altex East Africa is one of the most innovative companies when it comes to investment. They have been in this game for just 5 years, but they have brought new light to the market by you, of course, getting to ease access and make it more convenient for users, for investors, both local and foreign investors, to be able to transact or be able to buy and sell securities across East Africa. Under the Azabu initiative, by now dialing *292#, you can be able to access securities across East Africa. That is treasury bonds here in Uganda, in Kenya, and in Tanzania as well. And so these, of course, people at Altex East Africa have contributed a lot towards the growth and promotion of the investment in the debt market as well as in the capital markets here in East Africa. And we'll be talking about the recent listings of their securities. They have some listed securities on the exchange, and of course when you visit their Twitter handle at Altex East Africa, you will find some of these listings on their Twitter page. And definitely we'll be talking also about the situation around the coupons or the coupon rates that are coming in with the current treasury bonds. Are we seeing some improvement, or we are seeing a decline? More of that to come up on the show. Otherwise, I warmly welcome you to the program. And as Financial Markets, we definitely look at the stock market in a detailed manner here on the show, looking at the previous day's performance, especially of the Uganda Securities Exchange, which is the exchange mandated by the government of Uganda to carry out trading of stocks and other securities, including government securities such as treasury bills and treasury bonds. And yesterday's trading, remember the markets open at exactly 9 a.m. and they close at 1 p.m. East African Standard Time. And as per the closure of the markets yesterday, only 5 of the 15 listed equities were able to participate in trading, which is an improvement from the previous day where we had only 3 listed equities participate in trading. And among us these, we had only one gainer, unfortunately, and that was Centum Investment Company. And we had on the losing side about a couple of losers actually. And on the losing side, we had the Nation Media Group, who came out last with an end of day price depreciation of 4.4 0.46% at exactly 571.1 Ugandan shillings closing price. MTN Uganda also came in the second last place, that is with a loss of 2.16%. And then Equity Bank came in the third last place after losing about 1.76%, while KCB Group came in the fourth last position after losing about 1.75%. Generally, the markets didn't perform so well. Literally, we saw a decline in the overall performance that was manifested, of course, by the decline in the all-share index. Now, looking at the top movers, on the other side, we had Stanbic Bank Uganda record the highest volume of over 725,154 shares yesterday. He was followed by Umeme Limited, who recorded 18,563 shares that were traded yesterday. And then Uganda Clays Limited also traded a volume of 15,200 shares, whereas Cipla Quality Chemical Industries Limited traded about 4,800. Now, as an investor, you must have this daily information as regards the performance of each of these stocks, especially if you are an investor in some of these companies. Why? Because these definitely indicate how the company is performing on the stock market and what people are thinking about this particular equity. Yesterday, we see that the companies here in Uganda actually did not move much. And when you look at the local company index, it was negatively affected because of one stock, that is MTN Uganda, which declined. And therefore, overall, the local company index, which tracks the average performance of the local companies or domestic companies, declined by 1.25%. And currently, it is at 270.45 points where it is at the moment. And when you look at the 1 week performance, it's still on the gain of 0.32%. And on the 4 week performance, we're seeing a decline of 2.26%. We're talking about the local company index, that is the domestically listed companies. And there are 10 in number. We should know these at least on our fingertips by now. If you have 18 companies and 10 of them are domestically listed, it's a good head start, but we need to actually improve this. And then in terms of the year-to-date loss, we are still seeing a loss of 16.7% that was registered according to yesterday's statistics. Now, the all-share index, that is the overall performance indicator for all the listed equities on the Uganda Securities Exchange, also declined by 16.91 points. This can be explained by having very many losers on the market yesterday, about 7 losers that we had on the market and just one gainer. Therefore, the overall performance was in the negatives, meaning there was a decline. This index is a market capitalization weighted index, and it declined by 16.91 points, and that was a 1.31% decline in the points on the all-share index, closing the day with 1,274.63 points, representing a 1 week loss of 0.6% and a 4 week loss of 4.24% on the exchange here in Uganda. And when you look at the overall year-to-date loss, it is at 10.28% here on the all-share index at the Uganda Securities Exchange. Now, based on this performance, we can look at a summary here that at the end of the day, we had over 764,817 shares that were traded, corresponding to a market value of over 19.7 million Ugandan shillings, which were traded on the market yesterday. Compared with the previous day, that was on the 13th, yes, on the 12th, that is Monday, the USE registered a 434% improvement in the volume. So the volumes actually went up because we had 5 participants who did participate in the trading. There was also improvement in turnover by about 225%. And when you look at the market capitalization currently, it stands at 21.9 trillion Ugandan shillings. Now, like I mentioned, the market didn't perform so well overall, and this was due to having many losers, much more than the gainers. However, on the gaining side, Centum Investment Company went up after gaining about 14.55 Ugandan shillings, closing the day with a price of 303.11 Ugandan shillings. Centum is a company cross-listed from the Nairobi Securities Exchange and is listed on the Uganda Securities Exchange under the ticker symbol CENT. And when you look at the day they got listed on the 10th of February 2011, and they have been trading since then. Currently, they are the 13th most valuable stock with a total capitalization of 202 billion Ugandan shillings, which constitutes about 0.92% of the entire market capitalization of the Uganda Securities Exchange. Looking at the trading, they didn't have any trading that was done yesterday. However, they have 665 million shares that are outstanding with a market capitalization of 202 billion shillings on the Uganda Securities Exchange. Centum began the year with a price of 444.82 Ugandan shillings, and closing yesterday's markets at 303 Ugandan shillings. They have lost about 31.9% on the Uganda Securities Exchange in terms of their price valuation. However, they are ranked the 15th in terms of this year-to-date performance, 15 out of the 18 listed companies. So they're still not doing so well in terms of the year-to-date performance. And when you look at their traded volumes, they are the 8th most traded volumes. That is the only thing we can mention, at least positive about Centum. It's the 8th most traded stock out of the 18 listed companies on the exchange. This is within the last 3 months of trading, from the 15th of June to the 13th of September 2022. Within this period, Centum Investment Company has traded about 109,200 shares, and they're valued at over 31.7 million Ugandan shillings, with an average of about 1,733 shares that are recorded on average per trading session, and a volume high of just 100,000 shares that have been traded on the 19th of July for the same period. So relatively kind of an average performance, but compared to other cross-listed companies, it is still doing quite better. First of all, with a better pricing. When you compare the pricing of the stock at Centum with other cross-listed companies like Nation Media Group at 500, you have Equity Bank at over 1,500, you have Jubilee Holdings at 8,000, and then you have KCB at 1,200, and so many others. The stock is quite affordable, and they have a good trading activity, at least within the last few days. They have demonstrated some activity, and this has been able to make them the top company amongst at least the cross-listed companies in terms of price valuation, that is add value addition on the prices, but also in terms of traded volumes compared to other Nairobi Securities cross listings here on the Uganda Securities Exchange. They are doing way better than most of them. And yeah, that's Centum Investments for you. You can buy stock in Centum today by opening yourself an SCD account. And it is as simple as a few clicks away. You just have now to simply dial *165 hash. That is for you who is using MTN, an MTN subscriber. And when you dial that, you choose option number 5, that is financial services. And these financial services, we will have the Uganda Securities Exchange, where you can go on onto that portal and get enrolled so as you open your SCD account. When you open the SCD account, it's absolutely free of charge. You don't need an initial deposit. All you need is to make your investment decisions, approach a stockbroker, and they will be able to settle your claim for you within 3 working days. That is Monday to Friday, and you will have bought your shares. Moving away from Centum Investment Company, we had other companies that were able to also have some movement on the market. MTN Uganda was one of them. MTN Uganda, however, came out as a loser yesterday after shedding off about 4%, about 2.16%, and that was exactly 400 shillings, Ugandan shillings for that matter, within 4.0 Ugandan shillings within 1 day of trading. And MTN is the youngest company so far on the exchange to be listed enrolled on the exchange, not young in terms of founding, but in terms of being listed on the stock exchange. It's one of the youngest stocks on the Uganda Securities Exchange. And when you look at their capitalization, they are the second most valuable stock with a 4.05 trillion Ugandan shillings stock on the Uganda Securities Exchange. And this 4-something trillion Ugandan shillings is worth about 18.5% of the entire Uganda Securities Exchange equity market on the Uganda Securities Exchange. And when you look at their volume, they traded 1,100 volume, 100 shares, and their gross turnover, the total monetary value of these shares, is 199,100 shares that were traded on the stock market on behalf of MTN yesterday. They have a total of 22.4 billion shares that are outstanding, and they have 4.05 trillion worth of market capitalization. That is Uganda Securities Exchange. And when you look at their 1 week performance, they're still on the gaining side. MTN, after closing at 181, it's still on the gaining side of about 0.56% in weekly performance. In the 5th week, we have a 5% decline, however, and in the 3 months period, we have a 2.52% decline as well. And then the 6-month period, you have 0.5% of the entire Uganda Securities Exchange equity market here at MTN. Well, MTN yesterday, we're seeing much as it lost to 181 from 183. It is still one of the top trading companies, having a total volume of about 13.8 million within the last 3 months from the 15th of June to yesterday, but one. That yesterday actually at 13th of September. They have had a volume high of over 2.28 million shillings, and their stock currently that has been traded within the last 3 months is within about 2.61 billion Ugandan shillings, and therefore MTN is the 4th most traded stock because of this very interesting trading activity. You can also still buy some stock in MTN by still dialing *165 hash to open yourself an SCD account if you're using still an MTN line, or you can visit www.use.org.ug for you to open yourself an SCD account using the online means. And when you do this, they will definitely give you access to the stock market. You'll be able to buy and be able to sell securities conveniently at your own pace. We're going to take a very quick breather. You're still a wonderful viewer, and I hope you remain with us. We have more coming up in the next segment. After the break, we have also Joseph Chitamerike, who is the CEO, Alltex East Africa. Stay with us. We'll be right back.